Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh Bashem Yahushua and double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth and sincerity. And a shout out to Yakim that's out there on the four quarters of the earth pushing this truth. And so I just got another buzz here, but this is one that caught my attention because you know that net neutrality was ended. And if you're not familiar with Assange, he's another one of them whistleblowers, and so, Assange internet connection cut off in embassy, Kim.com. And so, this is a breaking story. Kim.com is alleging WikiLeaks founder Julian Assange had his internet connection within the Ecuadorian embassy in London cut off. He has called on Assange's supporter to gather outside the embassy building in solidarity. So, you know, they just cut his feed, and you know they've been cutting our live feeds and everything else. So, you know, it's just that now they're really clamping down on what you post and everything. You know, so while that's going on, we'll of course talk about the mark of the beast, the RFID implant, because there is a world currency, and Chris Green's going to talk about how he, in case you don't know him, that's AMTV. He's going to talk about how he became rich off of this, you know, backed up currency, the global currency, Bitcoin, and it's a very interesting video. I said I was going to get to it sometime this week, so finally downloaded all those videos from End Time News into the computer here, so I'm going to roll this because it's very interesting what he says here. So we know that's pushed towards the mark of the beast, so let me get that up. All right.
Anyways, I was having some thoughts here about recent reports that Jack Dorsey, he's the founder of Twitter, he's one of the few people in the world that really understands social media, just came out and said that he believes Bitcoin will be the reserve currency. That's right, the digital reserve currency of the future. And a lot of people ask me all the time, they're like, well, what does that mean, Christopher? So I want to intellectualize with you guys a little bit today because obviously, you know, Bitcoin's a big part of my life. I've basically invested everything into it. It's made me a millionaire. It's made me Bitcoin rich. And not only that, I've launched a series of courses of which I teach that you can't get anywhere else in the world. In fact, we've put out 15 videos, over 8 hours of exclusive content, everything that I've learned over the last 10 years up until now. And I encourage you to click the link below, subscribe. We've got limited seats, prices going up soon. But back to what Jack was speaking to, because some of the most common questions that I get about Bitcoin are, well, okay, is this going to be, if this is the new world reserve currency, then I guess the CIA must have planted it. So let's actually think about that. Let's do critical thinking today, and we're going to play two scenarios, one in my mind on one side, and then we're going to flip it and flip the coin and play the other scenario as well. Let's say that the CIA did plant, sure I got all my phones, did plant Bitcoin, and it's a CIA operation, right? Just like the internet was created by DARPA. It's the agenda to basically move the entire world to a one world order currency, and the digital currency they've picked is Bitcoin. Is that possible? It could be, so let's play along with that for a minute. If that's the case, and let's say you invested $10,000 in Bitcoin today, let's say you took my course, even $1,000, and it becomes the world reserve currency. It's so big, and it's so huge, that it replaces the dollar, the US dollar, it replaces all fiat, the entire banking system. It's pretty cool right there. Check that out. Got a bunch of planes behind me. Let's say that that was the case. What would happen to your portfolio, do you think, if you owned Bitcoin, or any cryptocurrency for that matter? It'd make you Bitcoin rich, right? You'd be incredibly, incredibly wealthy. So if the CIA, this is my point, who even cares? If the CIA is behind it, and you bought Bitcoin, and it goes to the moon, well, you're extraordinarily wealthy. In fact, that might even be a good scenario. Because it would assure the success of the technology that they're lying to us about through the mainstream media, telling us, for example, that, you know, it's a scam, it's a fraud, it's going to go to zero, but they're going to try to regulate it, if not ban it. So that's one scenario. So basically you're rich. You're rich. If the CIA, the government, global governments are behind all this, you're incredibly, incredibly wealthy. Okay? The counterpoint to that is, let's say it is legitimate, like I believe it is. It's absolutely 100% legitimate. It's this decentralized network created by Satoshi Nakamoto, who's anonymous, and it's breakthrough technology that transforms everything, just like the internet, and just like people laughed at people like Jack Dorsey, got a plane taken off right there. Just like people laughed at him, and then he's gone on to make billions and billions of dollars. You know, we all remember, like, it's like your parents, you know, and your grandparents, like, what are these kids doing with social media? Like, we don't understand it, right? Like, what's social media? It'll never go anywhere. Reality television, they said, would only last like a couple of months before people got tired of it. Now it's so big that it's our entire economy. Yeah, I mean, it's bigger than these airplanes here behind me. I don't know if you can see that. I just got my cell phone out today. It's pretty amazing, right? So it's bigger than that. It's bigger than that plane. If that's the case, and it disrupts, like the internet, you'll also be extraordinarily wealthy. It might be a little harder because the CIA and Central Intelligence and intelligence agencies and the U.S. government won't be helping it along. It'll just disrupt, but if it becomes the internet, you'll still become very, very rich. So basically, here's the point. I don't even know if this is making sense. The point is, under both scenarios, even if it is a CIA creation, or if it's not, which I believe, in both cases, you become extraordinarily Bitcoin rich. If it replaces the U.S. dollar, like Jack Dorsey says, you will have more money than the 99% of people on planet Earth.
So, you know, like everything else, though, yeah, some people are going to get rich quick off of it. Of course they will. But, you know, it's not going to save you in that day because we know that day is slowly approaching. That, you know, you can't buy, sell, or trade unless you receive the mark, and that's the push towards it by having a world reserve currency. So, this is what's happening now, and I'm just going to read out of Amos chapter 9. In that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the branches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. And that's what's happening now. You know, we are waking up to the fact that we're the Hebrew Israelites, the real ones. We're going out on the streets and proclaiming this. We're shaping things up. We're kicking out those that ain't with it, that don't want to be a part of it, but just want to hold on to it, you know, that have been fed, but yet they don't want to, you know, pretty much, they've taken the hands off the plow. So it talks about that. That they shall possess the remnant of Edom and all of the heathen, which are called by thy name, saith Yahweh, that does this. Behold, the day is come, saith Yahweh, that the plowman shall overtake the reaper, and the treader of grapes him that soweth seed, and the mountains shall drop in sweet wine, and all the hills shall melt. And I will bring again the captivity of my people Israel, and that they shall build the waste cities and inhabit them, and they shall plant vineyards and drink the wine thereof. They shall also make gardens and eat the fruit of them. And I will plant them upon their land, and they shall no more be pulled up out of their land, which I have given them, saith Yahweh, thy power. So, what's going to happen, though, is that, you know, first, everything's going to crash, you know, and a lot of these people are going to try to get rich quick and all that. But our investment is upon this word, this foundation, this rock of our salvation. That is, that we are the nation that shall be salvaged from among the heathen, you know, which his covenant has always been with Israel. So, yeah, man, you know, House of David's being built up, and we're just, proclaiming this, but I thought that it was very interesting, though, that, they just pulled another plug on the internet, of course, with whistleblowers. And well, what do you think we are? We are them whistleblowers. I just did a video a few days ago called We Are the Whistleblowers, the real ones, because we're blowing the whistle on Esau and everything that he wants to do. We're warning our people that, hey, this devil has come down having great wrath because he knoweth that he hath a short time. And we're telling you who the devil is. It is Esau, the so-called white man. So I hope this has been edifying, and, just thought I'd bring that other article out as well. Shalom.